All right, so today we're going to be discussing as to whether or not Destiny is a hypocrite. Now, there was some discussion before this where he said that anyone who shows for NFTs is, just looking for the next idiot. And then the next week he was selling an NFT and people were like, "Oh, you're just a hypocrite." I let that one slide mentally because I was like, you know what? He said that he just wants to make as much money as possible. He'll shill for anything. He'll take any sponsorship. Do I, agree with that on a moral level? No. I think that should take sponsorships from products that you actually enjoy. But do I think that, the mass majority of people are doing that? No. That's It's just not happening. A lot of people are focused on their money, as they should be. But this whole discussion started when somebody called for someone to assault Destiny. Now, I wasn't able to grab the screenshots because they seem to be gone from everywhere. So I only got a little bit of it. You're going to have to take my word for it, which you should take with a grain of salt. Like you should take everyone's word until you see, cold hard evidence. But I am giving you my word. I saw it. She was advocating for violence against Destiny. She offered money. So Destiny responded to this with, "Anyone recognize this person / where they work? Would be interesting to notify their employer that they're trying to pay someone to assault me over Twitter." Then he finds the LinkedIn of the person and he posts it. Then after that he says, "Hey, what happened to the LinkedIn profile, Manasi? Does U of Maryland know that they have a 26-year-old student that's offering money online for people to assault people on their campus? That's a pretty wild thing to offer Miss Online." Miss Pooh, I'm not even gonna attempt that. I had to try it once and it's just not gonna happen. Anyway, some people were critical of Destiny because they were like, well, this is kind of the thing that Kevils did to you. And on some level, I can see that. But it is different, because Kevils didn't call for, Kevils didn't call for anyone to assault Destiny, right? Or she wasn't actively going after his person. She was going after his livelihood, yes, and he was somewhat doing that. But the situations are a lot more serious because Kevils wasn't threatened at all by what Destiny did. She claimed to be, but she wasn't really. Whereas with Destiny, this person is offering money for Destiny to be harmed. Destiny has a wife. He'll probably have a family at some point. This type of thing is not legal, obviously, but it's also just wrong. Like you should never ever let your ideological differences get to the point where you are so focused in on them that you are willing to cause violence against them. That's just stupid, right? And I'm not gonna say like, oh, I'm just a complete pacifist, but like, we live in civilization, all right? We're not armies. We're not going to war against each other. You're on different sides of the political aisle. Be civilized. And they're not even on the different sides of the political aisle. That's the difference. That's so weird to me. They're both left-leaning people, assumedly, right? Because most right-wing people don't look like she looks. I'm just being completely honest, just being real. All right, she doesn't seem like a right-wing person does. I could be wrong. All right, I'm making assumptions, generalizing here, but this doesn't. Tell me if I'm wrong to make that generalization. All right, just let me know, okay? But outside of that, they're probably not on the same. They're probably on the same wavelength. They probably disagree on one or two issues, but she's so angry over that she's willing to wish violence on him. It's almost like how Destiny and Hassan will fight. They pretty much agree on everything, but they have like egos and ideological differences on like one or two things, and it's just driven them so far apart. And they used to be friends, and it's just stupid. You're grown men. But outside of that, I don't know if Destiny should have put the LinkedIn out there, knowing his fan base is very rabid and they will latch on to something like that. he probably should have taken that into account. Once he found the LinkedIn, he should have said, okay, this person's in Maryland, they're in the U of M area, they're a U of M student. Okay, all I got to do is send it to the police in that area. Whoever's, working the campus, whatever, send it to the dean. There's a lot of things you could do outside of, releasing it to the public, where, all types of people could just be like, oh, well, I'm gonna send you a bunch of donuts or a bunch of condoms or a bunch of pizzas, and I'm gonna send you like 50,000 hookers and things of that nature. It's just not a good idea. And then it opens up you to people being like, oh, well, you're a doxer, like you're just so low class, you're so unprofessional. And I do think it is an unprofessional move to go like, okay, I'm going to dox you now, and I'm going to put your stuff out there. Is this a full dox? No. He just put out her full name and age out there, and where she goes to school. But that's enough for a lot of people. Just off that tidbit of information, a lot of people probably know like where she worked already because of the LinkedIn, and they probably got her actual address. They probably know her mother and her sister and her nieces and nephews by now, okay? Because there are people like that. There are people who just devote their time to stuff like that, and it's weird. I don't know why you would do that, but they have a talent for it. It's amazing on some level, because remember that Shia LaBeouf thing where he had a flag and he pointed at the sky and they found it? Those are the types of people that are out there, and you're just opening her up to that kind of stuff. Look, I understand where he was coming from, because he's probably scared. She put a hit out on him. She offered money to go assault him. It wasn't go up and kneecap him, take a lead pipe and pop his ACL out of place. She said throw an egg at him. But what if it's a rock? He even said this. I'm pretty much quoting him. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. But what if it's a rock? Or someone throws a knife? Something like that. I think I already said this, but he has a wife and he'll probably have kids. I don't know. I don't talk to Destiny ever. But if I were, I'm pretty sure that's something that's in the cards. A lot of people have that urge. So that's something that you think about, especially if you're in the public eye like he is, and you're under a lot of scrutiny like he is, and you got this pressure on you often. And then you got to deal with people like this who are calling for you to, be assaulted. And not only do they get away with it, you get criticized for coming after them. So I can understand the panic state that he's in. Does that give him the right to then, turn around and put her information out there? No. But it is understandable as to why he did it, is mainly what I want to get across here. I think he's wrong, but there is, a method to his madness. That's the crux of my argument here. Now, it does seem like he deleted most of the tweets as I went to go back and get them, and I couldn't find them. I had to go back to a tweet I had bookmarked, and they already had some screenshots, so I grabbed those, and those are the ones that you saw earlier on. So shout out to whoever that was. And I just find it really, it's a very nuanced situation. There's a lot of different ways to look at it, and it's one of those things where if you like Destiny, you see exactly where he's coming from. If you don't like Destiny, you'll use this as a reason to hate him. I am pretty neutral towards Destiny. Hopefully I brought, at least middle of the aisle take, just something neutral and something fair. That's what I try to do. Now, with all of that out of the way, my Hunger Games video will be coming out today. I don't know when I'll edit this video and when the Hunger Games video will get out. It's going to be a little bit of a mix up, but whenever the Hunger Games video gets out, I'll make sure to come back into this channel and through the video editor, just put it up there so you guys can go check it out. It can sometimes get difficult working with YouTube's copyright claim system things can get a little wonky. Sometimes I have to edit things, just take them out. Like I remember last week I had to remove a song from the Persona 4 soundtrack completely because 71% of my audience couldn't see it, and I was like, well, the video is not going to do even slightly well if that happens. So I had to go, and I had to take it down and re-edit it. So we'll see if that happens with the Hunger Games video. It's an older movie. It's literally 11 years old, so it should be fine. And next week, a Halo Combat Evolved video will be coming out, and I'm pretty excited for that. I really enjoyed playing the game. Probably using footage for it for this game, and you'll probably, maybe, even see some of the footage that I'll be using for the video. And that'll be out next Friday. So, with all that out of the way, thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to go watch this stuff, and hopefully you go check out the Hunger Games video. I really liked making it. I've always loved reading the Hunger Games books, but I'm not going to talk anymore about that because there's a whole 10-minute video about it over on the second channel. Outside of that, thank you and goodbye.